So, so things are going reasonably well. You're up there near the leaders on the Australasian tour. You're winning on the Canadian tour, and then all of a sudden, injury visits you.
Yeah, my first real bad injury was my left ankle. I just kind of rolled it. I didn't break it, but I sprained it super bad right before I was back in Victoria here in Canada for Christmas, and then was heading back down to the Australian tour, and hurt it then. And I tried to play the last half of the Australian tour with my ankle like that, and it was silly. I shouldn't have played. My ankle was, after every round, was swelling up over my shoe, and I had to kind of fan it out and turn it out quite a bit just so I could turn through the ball without it hurting. And so I hurt that. But that came right, and I started playing reasonably decent again. It wasn't quite the same as I was, and then tore my rotator cuff in my left shoulder, and that was kind of the end of things. And I went through a divorce at the time, roughly the same time too. So a lot of things were going on in my life. You know, you can kind of handle an injury, or you could handle a personal issue, but both together at the same time. And I was like, okay, I'm not playing real well. My shoulder's hurting. I need to do something else for a little while and sort out what I'm going to do. And I was 39 at the time, about to turn 40. I met another Kiwi guy here in Victoria, and he installs hardwood flooring, had his own company. And I said, can I come and help you for a little while? And in the meantime, I'd organised a teaching gig in a little town called Powell River, which is kind of a little bit north of here, with a guy I knew off the Canadian tour. He was the head pro there, and I was looking for someone to come in and do all the coaching and the clinics. And so I did the hardwood flooring. The winters here are pretty wet and rainy. No one really plays a lot of golf. And went up there in the summer and taught for a while. Came back next winter, did the hardwood flooring again, went back and did the teaching the next summer, and then met my wife now, that I have now. And I was like, you know what? I don't miss the tour. I don't think I have it in me to, at 40 years old, to put in the amount of work that it takes to get back out there. You know, struggling towards the end there anyway. And my hardwood flooring boss, he said, well, if you come back to Victoria, I'll hire you full time and I'll pay you this much. And I've been doing that ever since. So, you know, I don't really miss the tour. It's a hard life living out of a suitcase 9-10 months of the year. So, and it's all great when things are going well, but it's tough when things aren't going well. And you spend a lot of money, and if it's not coming in, it's stressful. So it's nice. And now I've got a little daughter, and I get to sleep in my own bed year round, and I enjoy the home life now.
Yeah, good on you, Paul. Hey, focusing back on Paraparaumu Beach, I'd be really interested to know your favourite hole or favourite holes, and perhaps some of the characteristics that you like most about them that distinguish them from some others.
My favourite hole is pretty much 1 through 18. I like.
Yeah.
I think 5 would be my favourite.
Right.
Like, what a great par 3. You know, basically it's hit it on the green or you struggle, you know, and so 5 would be my favorite. I like 17 and I hate 17. There's something about 17 I would change, maybe the tee shot somehow. I love the approach shot into 17 from the top fairway, from the left. Do you guys have rough on the right now, or is it fairway down there?
So we have the lower fairway and the upper fairway.
So you still have the lower fairway?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I think wasn't that done away with for, like, they grew rough in there for a while? Am I wrong?
Well, I don't believe so. No.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I don't like the hole as it plays if you're playing down the lower fairway. It doesn't make sense to me. But it's a tough shot for a club golfer to get it to the top fairway, where it should be played from. So there's something about that tee shot I think should be different, to make the top more accessible. I don't know what you can do, you know, but the second shot from up there is as good as it gets. Like, you know, what a great shot into that green. And again, you miss the green. You can miss it short, but other than that, you hooped. You know, it's is pretty tough up and down if you miss it anywhere else. So 5 and 17 was the second shot on 17 for sure. And then all the par threes, love all the par threes out there.
Now, Paul, there's been a fair bit of banter online, with golfers recalling great shots and lists of this and lists of that. And I posted one on our Facebook page recently, and forgive me, I got to look down. But your list blew me away within about the first three line items. Hole-in-ones, 15. Albatrosses 4. You've shot 59, and your record for birdies in a row is 7. I can't remember the rest because I stopped reading after that. Unbelievable record there. 15 hole-in-ones.
15 hole-in-ones. I got my first one at number 16, Parapram, when I was maybe I was 16 years old. And I was just out playing with a couple of the other guys after school, and I got one there. And then didn't get one for a long time. And then I had a patch probably early 90s, 90, 92, 93, through to late 90s, where I got most of my hole-in-ones. I've had a couple in the last little while, but not one for maybe 4 or 5 years. I hardly play at all anymore. But yeah, you play as much golf as we do, and you're gonna come close. So it's a little bit of luck when it does actually go in. But I guess I've been lucky 15 times. The 4 Albatrosses, there's a couple of good stories with those. One of them was a hole-in-one, so that adds to my hole-in-one total. It was on a par 4. And it was just a fun round of golf with Craig Perks when we were still in university down there in Louisiana. And it was about 330 meters, summer, so everything was rock hard, and it was a little downwind and just killed the drive, and it bounced and ran and did all that. We actually thought it went over the back. Couldn't really see it till we got up there and it was in the hole. So that was that might have been my first Albatross, I think. And then I had another one in an amateur tournament in the summer in Louisiana. Actually, was it 2 of them? Anyway, this one was a match play event, and we were tied after 18 holes. This was the semi-finals to get to the final, and the first hole of the playoff was a par 5, and the guy I'm playing against hit a 3-iron for a second to about 20 feet, really good shot, and I'd hit, again, it was summer, things were firm, so I only had 7-iron in, and I hold the 7-iron to win that on the 19th hole. So, and then another one of them was on the Canadian tour, and it was the final round. It was the first tournament I won in Quebec, first tournament I won on the Canadian tour, and final round, and had an Albatross on the front 9 there, and kind of ran away with that one. So 3 of them were very memorable. The other one was just a practice round, and I hold a long iron, just in a practice round, nothing special, except it was a
nothing special. He says he's had 4 of them. So, Paul, like I say, I did play with you in the Pro-Am in 2014, and I'd heard prior to that, and in fact, your Wikipedia page even makes mention of the fact that you're a magician. You can perform magic tricks, and
former sleight of hand amateur magician. Yeah,
that's right. And so, as a result, you were a fairly popular Pro-Am partner, and yeah, you're picked up by sponsors, etc. So I do remember that day taking a deck of cards with me, and as the round slowed down, you'd pull the deck of cards out, and I think they were fairly sticky, actually. I think they had a lot of beer. I pulled them out from behind the bar, but you just absolutely wowed us throughout the day.
Probably.
You wowed us throughout the day with these card tricks, and then held the clubhouse captive later on with more sleight of hand tricks. So tell us a little bit about how that came about.
So just always been fascinated with that stuff as a kid, and whenever it came on TV, I loved to watch it. I think there was a show, Bill Bixby's World of Magic, I think his name was. I can't remember, but anyway, that was on New Zealand TV a little bit, and fascinated by it. And then Lance Phelps did his magic tricks with his cards, your card tricks and things like that. And so, that was cool. And I was watching him do those, and I was like, I loved it. I loved seeing people do tricks. And then when I was in university in the States, I'd learned a few card tricks and other little sleight of hands and that, and then I realized it was good with the girls, right? So whenever at the pub and having a few drinks, and I'd break out a few tricks, and sometimes that helped me and sometimes it didn't, and then it went from there. And then I never got, like, if a magician looks at what I do, they just laugh. Like, I'm very amateur. But for someone that doesn't know anything about it, I can do a couple of tricks that fool people. So yeah, exactly. So I do the very basics. I wouldn't call myself a magician, but I can do a few little things.
Now, I know I asked when we were teeing this interview up, perhaps whether there was a chance that you might be able to do one for us. I don't know how it would work, or whether you think it could work on over Zoom, but if you did, let's give it a go.
I can try. I've got a couple of things here. Let me fold this down a bit. Not sure how this will work either. This is the only one I could think of that might work on the money one.
Okay.
On the thing. So this is a Canadian 5. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Yeah.
And so what we do with that is we fold it in half there, and half there, and hopefully get one more good fold out of it, and then I think I did that one for you in the clubhouse, right?
I think you still have my brother's $50 note. Actually, you managed to turn 50
I
into
got
5.
it behind me. Yeah.
Well, fantastic, Paul. Look, that's all we have. Best of luck in this lockdown, and I hope that we return to normal as quick as possible. And obviously, you can get back doing what you do best now, and that's laying this hardwood flooring, which I know you're incredibly impressive what you do. So
yeah, I did professional golf for 16 years, and I think I've been doing the flooring for 14 years. So I play maybe 6-7 rounds of golf a year, and that's it now. So, golf's not really my life. It's like a previous life to me. And now I'm, very much into the family thing. And I've got my little girl, and I chase her around to her gymnastics and her soccer and piano practice and things like that. And that's what I enjoy these days. So it's a different life for me, but I'm glad I had the previous life.
And hey, look, I know you've still got family back here. So if the opportunity ever arises and you do find yourself back in our neighbourhood, Paul, we'd love to have you back through the gates. And
I'm planning on getting there. I've been given the go ahead from my wife that I can take off by myself. I don't have to drag the rest of the family down with me if I just want to go for a week or so and play some golf with my buddies. So I just got to find the time and obviously hope this virus disappears. So, but I want to get back in the next 2 or 3 years for sure, and play Parapram again, and maybe take a bit more money off you.
Paul, we look forward to it. Thank you very much again, and take care. Thank you.
Cheers, Leo.